feels like a Monday morning, but it's not. It's a Wednesday morning. It's just one of those days. Anyway, let's get into the trending topics this morning. And what is our first trending topic? Sisulu. This is a continuation of what's happening with the whole issue of the Cuban engineers coming to South Africa.
Conversation that caught a light last week, and it seems to be continuing. And the minister now giving a response, because the South African public has basically been asking why. Why did we need to bring in Cuban engineers when we have engineers in this country who are unemployed? Yeah. So here's the minister's response.
And this is what she's had to say. I'll just quickly brief through it. So it was released yesterday, the 27th of April. The Cubans are not in our country for employment. They are here for a skills transfer. That's the title of this release, saying the Ministry of Human Settlements, Water and Sanitation has noted with disappointment calls which seek to discourage or downplay the work of the Cuban engineers in the country. As the country celebrates 27 years of democracy, we are reminded of where we come from and who assisted our country to be liberated from the chains of apartheid. We wish to underline that the Cuban partnership with South Africa has been in place since the dawn of freedom, when they helped, which they helped us to achieve. This was emboldened by the diplomatic ties formulated in 1994 between Presidents Nelson Mandela of South Africa and Fidel Castro of Cuba. All of us live in a free country because they selflessly made it possible. And this is the bitter pill that they have not swallowed yet. So we'll move on a little bit more, talking not so much about the history, saying when Minister Sisulu made a call for engineers in the country to come forward so that the department can have a working partnership, only 5 companies responded, and sadly they are now crying foul. Responding to my call is their prerogative. However, whipping up negativity is not a way to a good working relationship. It is in their interest that the relationship is conducive to creating an environment that benefits themselves as well as the people they hope to provide services for. That's pretty much so what she has to say. Again, ending off saying, I repeat, the Cubans are not in our country for employment. They are here to mentor our municipal workers so that we can create jobs for South Africans, both skilled and unskilled. Today we have qualified black women engineers whom they mentored during their last stint in our country.
Okay.
So that's what it's...
Feel free to tell us what your views are at Morning Live SABC. Moving on, hashtag SANDF. And of course that deployment yesterday in Botshabelo in the Free State, where the president gave the Freedom Day address. And remember, there was talk about possible disruptions to the president's speech, and the
shutdowns,
official
all those words were used.
Yes, exactly. Shutdown was the word. And when we spoke to our reporters yesterday morning, both Palisa and Apumelele, they made it very clear that there was a heightened presence of security personnel out in Botshabelo. And what we have found now is that this is obviously in line with some of the intelligence one would imagine was gathered about this possible shutdown. Didn't happen, all as a result of the presence of the SANDF.
And people not too happy, and they're commenting about this, and some, just to read one, this one, Sidwell, saying, we must never celebrate the army being used in any form against the South African civilians. My brother, the army's primary constitutional role is to defend the borders of the country, not to babysit a president. So that's kind of the rhetoric that has been going on social media after the SANDF. And then finally, Somizi. I mean, I still don't even know what's going on with regard to Somizi's relationship. And to be honest with you, that's their issue. But it seems that Twitter wants to get involved all the time. And now,
Twitter is in that marriage.
Oh, man, it's insane. But I think what the problem is that now, I think someone asked him, you don't want to date? And Somizi says 6 months bank statement. And I don't I'm not playing anymore. Not playing games,
because and then Twitter went on to say, and I don't know this for a fact,
but no, we don't.
The thread then goes on to talk about Somizi and Mohale, his partner, his spouse, and saying that they were married in community of property. This is Twitter saying that. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what's true and what's not true. And now everybody talking to this fact that Mohale is now walking away basically with half of Somizi's wealth. But again, this is Twitter speaking. Nothing more, nothing less. But gosh, there's a vested interest in this marriage, I can tell you that much. I mean, we all watched it. We saw the photographs.
It was beautiful.
Amazing ceremony. It was beautiful. But now what's happening, everybody feels they have, some sort of a buy-in to this marriage.
They are part of the marriage.
So now they need to know what's happening. All right, so that's some of your Twitter gossip this morning.
Gossip indeed. That's how we ended it,
exactly.
with gossip. Right, let's leave it there. Quick look at the question of the day before we get into our first interview. But just a reminder of that question, and please do engage us because this is a huge focus on the show this morning.
All right, it's all basically just talking about what your views and expectations are ahead of the President's appearance at the Commission into state capture. So that is also going to be a topic of conversation that Sakina is going to be having now. There's your question. President Cyril Ramaphosa starting 2 days of testimony at the state capture inquiry today. He's appearing in his capacity as the ANC president. What are your expectations?
At Morning Live SABC, and our first guest, Lebohang Pheko, standing by as we take a look at exactly what to expect and also just unpack and flesh out some of the other nuances around this commission of inquiry into allegations of state capture. We seem to have come to a point where it's almost like a fait accompli. It's state capture, but we'll talk to that and find out what exactly is going on.